cruising can be a little stressful, especially when it comes to the small cabins. So in this video, I'm gonna give you not 5, not 10, but 12 cabin hacks, specifically for those first-time cruisers or relatively new cruisers, so that they can minimize that stress level. Now, for those of you watching this that don't fall into that category, I know you have probably seen some of these before, but I've got hacks on the hacks. So stay tuned, and you might learn something just a little extra. And at the very end, I'll tell you how to get some free alcohol right after this. Hack number 1. Now, before I show you, don't turn the video off, because as I said, I've got a little extra, because even first-time cruisers might have heard of this one before, and that is a magnetic hook, or a set of these magnetic hooks. In your cabin, basically everything is, the walls are all metal, so it doesn't matter where you are. I mean, you can't stick it on the wood, but these things will stick anywhere. And one of the biggest problems, especially on the older cruise ships, is there's no place to hang anything. Right now, I am on one of Royal Caribbean's Oasis class ships, and there's tons of storage on these ships. But even so, it's nice to have places to hang things. And the problem is, and I've talked to quite a few cruisers about this, is they buy these and it won't hold anything up. So they stick them on the wall and then they hang something on it and it just slides down the wall. Because now this is obviously a metal door, but this is coated. So it's not magnet directly to steel, and you're probably not going to stick anything on the door of your head or bathroom. So this thing, you put it on, and if it's not directly on metal, it'll slide down. However, here is the extra tip, because a lot of people don't realize this. So these things are rated. So if you get on Amazon, and by the way, all the products I talk about, there are links in the description. They are affiliate links. We'll get a little bit of money, maybe, if you buy from that link. And we do that so that we don't have to have sponsored videos and have those annoying long advertisements in the middle. And we use all the products we show you anyhow. So these things are rated. They'll have a pound rating, like 25 pounds or 50 pounds or something like that. The problem is that rating is how strong it is to pull it straight off. Yeah, and if you were, not that you should do this, but if you're sticking things on the ceiling, then yes, if it's rated at 50 pounds, it's going to hold 50 pounds. However, these things on the wall, they'll just slide down. And I've been on cruises with other people before. If you've watched this channel, you've seen Jim and Cheryl. They bought some. They bought, 25-pound ones. And all their stuff slid down. So I have one of these luggage scales. So let's see the difference in how strong they are. So if I pull this on, I'm going to put my hand over it so it doesn't go flying. And I start pulling. That was 20 pounds pulling out. Let's try again. Oh. And that was 20 pounds also. So this thing, it takes 20 pounds to pull it off. Now, however, watch this. Let's look how little of pressure it takes to pull it down. That would be 3 pounds. So in other words, this magnet, if you hang something that weighs more than 3 pounds, it's gonna slide. Now, what that means is you need to buy stronger hooks. And I found these things and I hang all sorts of stuff. My mast fins and snorkel, I can hang from one of these. I hang my swim stuff, my rash guard and my shorts. I hang my beach towels. I hang my the pants, the like pajama thingies I wear to bed at night. I basically hang tons of stuff on it. I've never had a problem with these sliding. So even if you don't get the ones that are linked below, find the ones on Amazon that are as strong as you can get. It makes a difference. Okay, hack number 2, luggage tags. So when you get your cruise documents, doesn't matter what cruise line you're going on, they will give you a PDF file or something like that to print out your luggage tag. And they all look relatively like this. This is one of Royal Caribbean, so it's long and skinny. Some of them are shorter and fatter, but same idea. And they give you these directions on how to fold it. And once it's folded, it looks like this. And what you do is you take that and you put it through the handle, and then you staple it out here. Now, the problem with that is it's paper and it's wrapped around your handle, and the staples can come out pretty easy, and these things can fall off, and they do all the time. And that means you don't get your luggage anytime soon when you're on a cruise ship. It's like the airline loses it. You got to go fill out a report, tell them what color it is, all sorts of stuff like that. This is a bad idea. So instead, you need to buy these. Again, link in the description. These are tag or baggage tag holders. And this one is a pack of 4. And inside there is 4 of these tag holders. And some of them, each company's a little different. This one actually has like a little logo on it. It doesn't matter. They're all relatively the same, and they have a zip lock up here on the top. And so what you do is you take your luggage tag, and by the way, this isn't the hack on the hack, but they all have a place for you to put your last name. That's a good idea. So put your last name on that, and then you take this and you unzip the zip lock thingy, and you put it in here, and then you zip it back up. Now, guess what? It's waterproof. The first time Kat and I went out of Galveston, it was an absolute downpour, and when we were walking to the terminal, everything got soaked. And think about it. If I had this tag just on the bag, do you think that's going to hold together? So anyhow, once it's zipped, it's waterproof. And then you have these little wire things like this, and you put that through the hole, and it's got a little screw head on it, and you just put it through like this, and you screw it on, and now this is waterproof and it's not going anywhere. Okay, now the extra hack. Instead of printing it in black and white, print it in color. And here's why. The zones, like right now we're on deck 11 in cabin 235. However, they're color coded. See the colors? These are all color coded, and this is black and grayscale. So obviously the information's still on here. However, it's much easier for the people who are sorting these bags out to say, oh, there's whatever color, and grab that and throw it in the pile with everything else, instead of having to take their time and read the actual numbers. If you were doing it, which bags would you take care of first? Now, I have no proof that this is the case, but when we went from black and white to color, we got our luggage a lot faster. And also, just so you can see, this one right here has been on probably 10 cruises, this holder. Now, as I said, all the cruise lines have different size baggage tags, and you need to find one. The link I have in the description is for Royal Caribbean. However, if you just search for Carnival luggage tag holders, or Princess, or Holland America, and you can find them on Amazon. I'll take a look and see if the company I use actually has them for the other cruise lines. If so, I'll put them in the thing. Spend the extra $1 to print it in color. It makes a difference. All right, hack number 3. When you get on your ship, they're going to give you a card that you're going to use to get in and out of your cabin and to charge things with. On Royal Caribbean, they call it a set sail card, and they're on your cabin doors when you get your cabin. Little envelope, open it up, you've got your card. Now, on the cruise ships, they'll sell lanyards. And what you do is a lot of the cruise lines will punch holes in your card for you, and then you can attach it to your lanyard, or they will sell a lanyard with a little plastic envelope thing, and you put your card in the plastic thing, and then you wear that around your neck. Now, there's a whole bunch of problems with all of that. Number one, and I'm sorry if you already bought one of these or you currently use it, those plastic things are worthless. Don't do that. If you can, you need to get a hole punched in it, because taking that thing out so that they can scan it or swipe it, depending on your cruise line, is a real pain, and it takes forever. Now, if you can only get a lanyard, like I'm hiding something here, like this, with a keychain sort of ring and this, and what you do is you have this on and then you have to pay for it, you can just take this off and hand it to them. That's not ideal either. This is what will make your life a lot better, and it's a lanyard like this. And the way this works is you wear it, and it has this clip thing, and all you do is you squeeze it like that, and then you hand this to the waiter or waitress or whoever's taking care of you, and they can either swipe it or they can scan it, again depending on the cruise line, and then they'll bring this back to you, and you just do that. How much easier is that than having to undo a plastic thing, take the card out, or take the whole thing off? If you haven't noticed, if you watched any of our videos, I wear hats all the time. No, I'm not bald. And it becomes a pain. So you punch it. Now, most cruise lines or the stores that sell the lanyards will punch the hole for you if you buy a lanyard. I'm going to give you a link for these on Amazon. They're cheaper and they're higher quality, and they have one of these snaps. You can't get these. I haven't seen these, and I've been on a lot of cruise lines. I haven't seen these before with the clip. Now, maybe I've just been on cruise ships that don't have it, but get them off of Amazon. Again, if you don't want to use our link, don't, but this will be a lifesaver for you. But then you're going to have to find a way to punch a hole. So guess what? We always carry a hole puncher with us, and it's a piece of cake. So let me show you on this card here. So if this is my card, and pretend this isn't here, and I want to punch it. Now, don't punch it through the magnetic strip. If there's 2 barcodes, then just punch it through one or the other, and don't put it right next to the end of the plastic or it can break. So let's pretend that that's, this end. You just take your hole punch like this, and you line it up to the right spot, making sure it's in a good place. And voila, you have a hole. Now, there's one other thing you have to be careful of. Okay, this was an old card that I just brought for a sample. And the reason is right now, I'm actually on Harmony of the Seas, which is a Royal Caribbean Oasis class ship. And on those ships, when you get in and out of your cabin, you don't do that. You just tap your card like in a modern hotel, which is what this is. Now, these have chips in them, and you can't just go punching holes in it. The good news is the cruise lines, at least Royal Caribbean does, if you're on a ship of Royal Caribbeans that uses one of these tapping cards, you can get one of these, which is a WOW band. They sell them right on the Royal Caribbean ships. They're $10, And once you own one, you never have to buy one again. So every time you go on a new Royal Caribbean ship that uses one of these, in other words, a tapping card to get into your cabin, you just take this up to guest services. They will reprogram it. And while you're on the cruise ship, you only need this. You don't need this at all. You only need this card to get on and off the ship when you're in port. The rest of the time, you just wear this. You can swim with this. It can get wet. You don't have to worry about losing it. It doesn't fall out of your pocket. So you can get one of these. It'll make your life a lot easier. Hack number 4. From the floor. As I mentioned in the intro, most first-time cruisers or new cruisers always get stressed out about the fact that there's no place to put anything. Luckily, these newer cruise ships are getting much bigger and there's a lot more storage. And on this ship, it's actually not that bad. However, Kat and I went on a cruise up to Alaska recently, and there was no storage, no place to put anything. And what makes things worse is after you've worn something and it gets dirty, what do you do with it then? Well, there's these. So I left this in the packaging so you can see how small it can get. And all you do, and they're very cheap, link in the description, you open it up and there's this like bungee thing around it, and you take that out and then you open it up and it takes a little finagling, but once it's done, it's a little laundry basket. So you have this thing, you can put it in the closet. You know, they'll have a closet that's got a space from floor to ceiling. You can put that there. And then what you do is when you have dirty clothes, like this robe here, I didn't bring this, Royal Caribbean. Once you get to a certain point in their Crown and Anchor Society, which is like their frequent flyer thing, they put these in your cabin so you can wear them up to the pool. Mine's dirty. Just throw it in there. Okay. I never bring one of these. I brought this for the video. Kat really likes these. However, here's my hack so that I don't have to bring this. Now, I know it rolls up into a little itty bitty space. However, you know, when you pack it, but this takes up space in the closet and I don't like doing that. So let me take my dirty bathrobe out. Now, in cruise ship cabins, the bed always has storage underneath, and it's quite extensive. You can easily fit your suitcases, and I would strongly recommend putting them under the bed because it gets them out of the way. So you just slide all your suitcases under the bed. You don't have to worry about them taking up space. Well, what I do is I open mine up first so that then I can just pull it out like this. I can then throw my dirty laundry in it and push it back under, and no more laundry. So that's what I do. I just open my suitcase, and when I have dirty clothes that I'm changing out of, I pull it out. The suitcase obviously has two sides, right? So maybe I put tops and bottoms opposite sides or something like that. And then when I'm done, I just push it back under the bed. Make your life a lot easier, and it takes up a lot less space. This is cheap. If you want to do this, that's great. Link in the description. If not, just open up your suitcase, slide it under the bed. You're good to go. Hack number 5. Now, I know if you are a first-time cruiser or relatively new, this isn't going to apply to you. However, it is something that you need to keep in mind as you're cruising. As I showed in the last one, Royal Caribbean, once you get to Emerald level, which is only 3 levels up, you get robes. And you get 1 robe per person, and they'll bring them to you, and you can wear them at the pool, out on your balcony if you have a balcony. You can wear them wherever. I see people walking around with them on the cruise ship. However, They won't just give them to you unless you ask for them. I don't know why. It doesn't really cost them anything, but they won't do that. And there's, depending on where you are in the frequent cruiser point system, there are all sorts of benefits that you can get that you won't get unless you ask for it. And sometimes there are benefits that they should give you and they forget to give them to you. Like, again, on Royal Caribbean, when we got to Emerald, they gave us buttons, little buttons to wear. Never gonna wear mine, but they gave me a button. They didn't give Kat hers. They forgot to give Kat hers. They just gave it to me. Came in a little Ziploc pouch, and it said Sean Pearson on it. It's a little button I can wear. And yeah, they never gave Kat hers. Now, we don't care about that, and we're not Emerald anymore anyway. So, but if what Kat should have done is she should have gone and asked for it, and they would have given it to her. So keep track, no matter what cruise line you're on, of your points and the levels, and see what it is you get for each level, and make sure that you're getting those benefits. All the cruise lines have something like this that actually show all the different levels, and they show how many points you have to have, and then they list out the benefits. So make sure you look into that as you're progressing, and don't think, oh, this is way beyond me. On Royal Caribbean, you only need 3 points to become a gold level in Crown and Anchor. You get 1 point per day that you're on a cruise ship. So if you go on a 7-day cruise, when you're done with that cruise, you're already gold level. So don't rule these out, even if you don't go on many cruises. If you go on a cruise a year, you're going to be platinum pretty quickly. So check these out and make sure you take advantage of all the benefits you can get. Hack number 6. In the olden days, before COVID, if you went on a cruise on most cruise lines, your room steward would come in and clean your room in the morning, and then they would do, or in the afternoon, and then they would do like a turn down service at night, and they put little candies on your pillows and all sorts of stuff like that. Those days are over. Now, at least on all the cruise lines I have gone on, now, instead of coming to your room twice, they come to your room once and to clean it. And typically there's 2 blocks of time that they'll come, in the morning or in the afternoon. And the first day, on embarkation day, when you get on the ship, your room steward will probably knock on your door and say, hey, I'm your room steward. Do you want me to clean your room in the morning or in the afternoon? You need to put a little bit of thought into this, and here's why. If you say afternoon and you're tired and you want to take a nap, you don't know when in the afternoon your cabin is going to be cleaned. Now, yes, you can say, hey, when do you do the afternoon? And your room steward will say, oh, somewhere between 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock or whatever time it is. You can't just come back and take a nap, because you could, hey, or you can put your little thing on the door saying do not disturb, but then your cabin doesn't get cleaned for the day. Me personally, I like a clean cabin with a freshly made bed, and I don't want to do that because I'm on vacation. Figure out which time slot you want it in, but here's the hack, and your room steward will love you for this. When he comes in and says, which one do you want? I always say, and Kat hates this, I say morning. And he's like, okay, and he writes it down, or she writes it down. And then I say, hey, listen, I know that, when you first go, it can be a little hectic because people could be in their cabins. I'll tell you what, if you promise to do my cabin first, I will make sure I'm never in it for that time slot. So, for example, I am on, as I said, I'm on a Royal Caribbean cruise right now. This is day 2, which means I left port yesterday from Galveston. My room steward came, very nice man, and he said, which one would you like? I said, morning. I said, when do you do your first cabin? He said, well, I meet with my supervisor at 8, so usually somewhere between 8:15 and 8:30. I said, I tell you what, every day I will be out of my cabin from 8 to 8:30. Why don't you clean mine first? and they always light up because it makes their job a lot easier. Now, if you promise them that, you need to make sure you're out of your cabin. But here's the thing. After 8:30, I know I have my cabin for the entire rest of the day, and I'm never going to be disturbed. I can take a nap. I can do whatever. I'm never going to be disturbed. I don't even have to put my little thing up. So talk to your room steward, and you can do the same thing in the afternoon. Let's say they start at 3 o'clock. I start at 3. Great. I tell you what, I will promise you I will not be in my cabin from 3 to 4. Give them an hour or her an hour. Can you clean mine first every day? And they'll love you for it. It'll make your cruising experience a lot nicer. Hack number 7. I would do that with my hand, but I can't. Hack number 7 is this. Now, this is really the only cruise line that I know for a fact that does this is Royal Caribbean, because I've never tried to do it on any of the other cruise lines. There's reasons for that, but beyond this video. Royal Caribbean allows you to bring one bottle, regular size bottle, not the huge ones or the boxes. One bottle of wine per adult, 21 and over, in each cabin. So when Kat and I come, we bring 2 bottles of wine. And by the way, this isn't sponsored. I just love it. This is Bully Hill. If you've never tried Bully Hill wine before, yum. It tastes like, now this one doesn't because this is peach, but it tastes like you're drinking grape juice. It's very dangerous. You'll drink the whole bottle and not even realize you drank it, and then stand up and like fall over. And the best part is it's all natural, so you don't get headaches the next day. So anyway, you can bring 1 bottle per person in your cabin. And when you bring it, make sure you put it in your carry-on, because when you put it in your carry-on, it goes through the scanner just like TSA, and they'll see it and they'll be fine with it. If you put it in your baggage and it goes through the scanner, chances are they will not deliver your bag, and you'll have to go down, open your bag up with them, and show them that it's, a bottle of wine. So put it in your carry-on, and 1 bottle per person. Now, if you get twist offs like this is, you don't have to worry about a bottle opener. But here's the other hack. Bring a bottle of wine that has a cork, and then ask your room steward, say, hey, I brought a bottle of wine on with me. Do you have a corkscrew? And they'll give you a free Royal Caribbean corkscrew that you can keep. If you've been on other cruise lines other than Royal Caribbean that allows this, put it in the comments so everyone knows. Okay, hack number 8. There are a lot of things you can't bring on a cruise ship. Now, there's some of it's obvious, like you can't bring guns, explosives, martial art weapons. That's on the list. There's a lot of stuff. You can't bring hard liquor, beer, stuff along those lines. As I said in the last one, you can, on Royal Caribbean at least, bring 1 bottle of wine per adult. You can't bring anything that basically produces heat. So no hair dryers or open flames. No steamers. And this varies between cruise line. So simply go on the internet and type in whatever, Carnival prohibited items to bring on cruise. And they'll have a PDF. You can download it and read the list. One of the things that a lot of people get dinged for are power strips. And the reason people want to bring power strips is, especially on the older cruise ships, there might be like 2 plugs or even only 1 plug in the entire cabin that you can plug things into to charge your cell phones. And, if there's 2 of you and you both want to charge your cell phones, you're kind of out of luck because you can't bring a power strip. However, they will allow you, even though technically this falls in, if you read the fine print, this kind of falls into the category. They will let you bring one of these. So this is a USB, pretty much, power strip. So in other words, if you plug it in, and on this end, it has plugs for plugs like this, or whatever country you're from, same idea, then you can't bring it. If it has a surge protector or anything like that, you can't bring it. They do let you bring ones with plugs on one end and USB on the other end. And this one is outstanding. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 USB-C plugs and 2 USB-A plugs. And all you do is you plug this into your very limited number of plugs, and then you plug all your, like, 2 cell phones, AirPods, cameras, whatever you need, you plug into these. That'll make your life a lot easier. Hack number 9. When you first get to your cabin, most cruise lines will do something. They'll have a embarkation day special for their laundry service. Now, I don't know if you're like me or not, but Kat and I currently live in southern Florida on the West Coast, and we work for a company that is in Houston, Texas. So we spend a lot of time in Houston and obviously Florida. Both places are very hot and very humid. So when we pack our luggage, and by the time we get through all that heat and humidity to wherever we're going for our cruise, our clothes are wrinkled. They're like steam pressed wrinkles in them. And that's not good. Now, some of them, yes, you can hang out and you can, steam them in your head when you're taking a shower. You can spray the wrinkle stuff on it. However, that might work for some things, but it doesn't work for all my clothes, especially my suit. I didn't even bring my suit this time because I didn't want to deal with it. But when I do, it's a nightmare. And as I said, most cruise lines will have some sort of a special. And Royal Caribbean does that. And on this cruise, I took advantage of it. So what they'll do is they'll have a bag, and then they'll have a little things talking about the special. So what they do is, I think it was $17 and something, so like $18 total, and you can have them press 10 pieces of clothing. I just put the stack of my clothes out on the bed and put the piece of paper on top. When I saw my room steward, I said, hey, I want to take advantage of that pressing thing. All my clothes that I want done are on the bed and it's on top. You fill it out. How many pairs of pants, how many shirts. You give them your cabin number, your name, and sign it. And then it's gone. And then the next day, they bring it back on hangers and they hang it up for you. It makes your life a lot easier instead of having to deal with those sprays and trying to steam them while you're showering. Never had much luck with either of those. But it'll make your life a lot easier. And you'll look better too. Okay, hack 10. Most cruise lines now, in an effort to be greener and not kill so many trees, have gone paperless. Which means usually, again, in the olden days, when you went on a cruise ship, every day you would get this piece of paper that told you, and you get it the night before typically, that would tell you everything that's going on in the cruise ship the next day. If you're going to be in port, it would say when you can leave the ship, when you have to be back on. Usually it tells you the weather, just stuff like that. But it tells you everything that's going on throughout the day. Now, nowadays, that's all done on your phone. That's great until you get older or you just don't like it, like me. And because I don't like the layout on the phone. It's not easy to find things. It's small. I can't take a highlighter and circle something. Maybe it's just my generation or something. But needless to say, I'm not a fan. So here's what you can do. You can ask your room steward and say, hey, I would like a paper copy of whatever it's called. Now in Royal Caribbean, they call it a cruise compass. So yesterday when I got on the ship and met my room steward for the first time, I said I would like paper cruise compasses. Ask for a paper copy. It'll make your life a little bit easier as well. Almost done. Hack number 11. Now, your cruise is done. It's the day you have to get off the ship. And let's say you don't have to get off first thing in the morning. Or you want to check your bags so that the cruise line takes them. So you put them out the night before, they took them, put them in storage, and then they'll be in the cruise terminal for you when you exit. By the way, don't do that. Unless your bags are huge or something, carry them off and you can get off whenever you want. So let's say you're not going to get off the ship until the ship gets into port at 7 a.m. and you don't want to get off until 9 or 8:30 or something. And you want to go enjoy the buffet one last time. You get up, you shower, all your bags are packed, you're ready to go. You don't want to take your bags with you. You want to leave them in the cabin. Now remember, your room steward's going to want to come in and clean your cabin. And so what you can do is this, and most cruise lines do this, and it's a way for the room stewards to be a little sneaky and find out if you're truly in your cabin or not. What they do is they take one of those rubber door stops. Now I tried to get one for my room steward and they're not out here, and so I didn't want to push it because he's probably like, why does he want one of those? So it's the little rubber door stops that you know, when they open the door, they push them under the bottom of the door. It keeps the door open. What they'll do is they will take them and they will, if this is the door and this is the floor right here, they will take it and they will put it on the floor and tip it against the door on the outside, and they'll do it by where the hinges are. Not right where you walk, but by where the hinges are. So you go out, you open your cabin door up, that thing will fall over, and when you won't even notice it. And when your cabin door closes and you go upstairs, your room steward now knows that you left your room at least once so far. And they'll, can come in and start cleaning. So what you do is when you open your door, remember, don't be a jerk and stay to the last second. But if you want to go up and get something to eat and you don't want your room steward coming in, open your door up, walk outside, close your cabin door, look down, pick up the little thing and lean it against your cabin door where it was. Now, if you don't know where it should go, just look at your neighbor's cabin door and it will be on that, and just copy it. Then go up and eat. And your room steward will still think you're in your cabin and won't bother you. You eat, you come back down, and you go and get your luggage and leave. That way you don't have to haul your luggage around. Wait to see all the people that just pull their luggage everywhere with them in the buffet. No thank you. Don't want to do that. Okay, hack number 12. Now, each cruise line definitely does something different with this. And again, because right now I'm on Royal Caribbean, I'm going to speak about what Royal Caribbean does. So every cruise line will have a section on their webpage, or if you're going through a travel agent, you can ask your travel agent this, and it will be for celebrations. So like if it's your anniversary, you can pay the cruise line some extra money and they will decorate your cabin. It says happy anniversary, stuff along those lines. Newlyweds, birthdays, whatever. In that section, they will typically have a way to buy a bottle of champagne or a bottle of wine for a special occasion that you just want that and you don't want the decorations. Now, Royal Caribbean has basically, with alcohol, 3 of those. They have a bottle of champagne with a bunch of chocolate-covered strawberries. They have a bottle of red wine with cheeses, fancy cheeses, so not, American sliced cheese, like, it's blue cheese, some brie, something like that. And they also have the same thing with white wine. Now, the thing is that those are on sale all the time. And I am actually in the process right now, and I'll show the results after this video. So what I did is I'm testing, because I always get the champagne and strawberries, and I usually get a bottle of white wine with the cheese and crackers. They give you water crackers with it with the cheese, and there's some fruit on it and so on. So it's always been in my head that it's much cheaper to get the champagne or wine when it's on sale, because not only do you get food with it, but the bottle of wine or champagne when it's on sale is a great value without even the food, because on most cruise ships, a glass of wine or a glass of champagne they're not cheap. Now, if you have the drink package or you're on a cruise line that includes free alcohol, then this doesn't matter. So what I did is I went the first day I was on this cruise, and I went and got a glass of wine that's the same wine that I purchased with the cheese. And I marked it, how far up they filled it. Now, obviously, each bartender is going to fill it a little different, but we're assuming on average this is right. And what I'm doing is I'm keeping track of how many of these glasses up to this line I can get out of a bottle of wine. And I was charged $9 for this, not including the tips, the gratuities and the tax and all that. I didn't, just $9, then all that's on top. Because when you buy the champagne, there's gratuity and all that's on top, added on also. So that's a wash. I'm just talking about the actual price before the gratuity and the taxes. And I'm going to see if my theory is correct. And I'll put that right after this. And I'm going to do the same thing with champagne. I haven't started yet, but I'm going to do the same thing with the bottle of champagne. Regardless, look into it on your cruise and see if there's a sale, because we get the champagne and all the strawberries for $39. And, it's a big bottle of champagne and chocolate covered strawberries. And it seems to us that is saving us quite a bit of money. So let's see. As I said, stay tuned. Let's talk about it. If you can't tell, it's the future now. And I finished the test. So I was pouring the wine into that glass. Like I said, I was able to get 5 glasses plus a finger of white wine, which is 5 times 9 is $45, and I spent $39.99, so basically $40. So it's about $5 worth of free wine. Now, we also get all those artisan cheeses, so the blue cheese and the Swiss cheese and the apricots and the dates and all that came with it. So that's a good deal. Now the champagne was even better. I still haven't finished the champagne yet, but I stopped when I was at 5 glasses of champagne. Same thing, and it's definitely worth it. Now, here's the kicker. On Royal Caribbean's webpage, you can actually get chocolate covered strawberries with no alcohol, and they charge $25 for 9 strawberries. I think I got 6 strawberries. I don't think I got 9, but even so, let's say it's $18 worth of strawberries. That means not only are you getting the strawberries for free, you're getting, probably with the champagne, $8 to $10 worth of champagne for free. So it's definitely a good deal. Well, this is the Third Orbit Travelers. My name's Sean. And if you got any value at all out of this, please give us a thumbs up. And if you're interested in more information on cruising, on Let's Cruise videos, on anything, basically anything cruise related, consider subscribing to us. I'll see you next time.